Hi, I'm Mike Feeney. You might know me as a comedian or that guy from the internet you want to punch in the face. I'm on the hunt for a co-host for my wildly successful podcast. I've received hundreds of applications from some of the funniest people on the planet.
I'm gonna freak out.
Join me to see if they have what it takes to be my co-host. Welcome to Co-Host Wanted. Today, I'm interviewing stand-up comedian, podcaster, and open-mouth kissing her dog enthusiast, Jordan Jensen. She's fearlessly honest about her life on stage to the point of deep concern, frankly. And whenever we talk, I suddenly feel like a well-adjusted human being. So, Jordan, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks
for
so much.
coming in. I'm excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
This feels like it could be a good fit. Right off the jump, I'm feeling like...
I'm excited that you chose me. I'm really looking forward to joining you. And Ian's been a fucking nightmare, so I'm really happy to be... Yeah.
Trouble in paradise, perhaps.
Well, I just, I'm really happy to just be moving from one trip to the other, so thanks for choosing me.
All right, well, didn't choose you yet, but we will maybe by the end, you might be the...
This was...
No, this is the interview. This is the interview for this. So...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just jump right in then, because I got a bunch of questions, and we're gonna. I think you're in good shape. I'd say you're the number one contender right from the top, but we'll see. First question: you have lesbian moms?
3 of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next question: why do you think you'd be a good co-host?
I'm a great co-host. I usually show up 15 to 20 minutes late, which gives you a good buffer time to settle in.
Interesting
spin. I will
spin.
find the snacks wherever they are. I noticed in the front entryway there's some truffles that belong to an office that isn't here. I will get those.
Okay.
So yeah, if there's snacks laying around, I'll find them. I usually have emotional turmoil going on that we'll need to debrief on for about 25 minutes to 30 minutes before the pod and after. Okay. Sometimes I'll have to leave early because I haven't let my dog out.
Okay.
Or something of that nature. Oftentimes there will be a dog, and guess what her favorite chew toy is? Mite cords.
Okay. So this is actually I like that you're pitching what some would perceive as weaknesses as your strengths.
No, those are strengths.
Oh, okay. I don't even want to know what your weaknesses are if that's the case.
Yeah, no, you don't want to.
Okay.
Farts.
So late, snack motivated, farts.
Yes.
That's great. Okay.
If you send me a picture of Swedish fish, I'll be here on time. If there's no Swedish fish, 15 minutes late.
Okay.
Yeah. Dog has been known to pee on rugs.
Okay, well this isn't my studio, so frankly that's going to be
Steph
their
Tolev,
concern.
she walked in, immediately peed.
Really? Did you offer to reimburse in that situation, or do you just
I wiped it up.
You wiped it up, but you don't go like, you just say I'll wipe it, but you're not like, I'm gonna buy you a spray thing or a deep clean. If you offered that, do you think she would have accepted it?
No,
that would be a good person.
And Coyote's a tiny dog. It's a mini pee.
You ever do that to somebody where you go like, you offer them, like, knowing they should say no, and then they say yes, and now you're obligated to, like, have to do...
Oh, my God, all the time.
I hate those people.
All the time. Sebastian Maniscalco has such a good bit about that.
Does he?
About the person being, like, at the table being like, I'll pay, and then being like, I insist, oh, please. And they'll be like, you leave the tip. And they're like, all right, I'll leave the tip, and then you'd be like, cheap.
Yeah. You get out of here with $50. Yeah. No, that's good. I like Sebastian.
I love Sebastian.
People really hate Sebastian. I don't know.
Yeah, why is that?
I think he's like the next generation, which is funny because he's older, but he's like the next generation's Dane Cook, where he's like just a physical comedian, and people, I feel like, really resent physical comedy. Like stand-up comedians.
I think it's also when you put out a bad movie. If you put out a bad movie, you're fucked.
I feel like people were making fun of him before the movie. It's like, because he's so like, how everyone Seinfeld's always like, hey, what's the deal? Like Sebastian, everyone's like, why do I gotta do it? Like everyone does like the voice or whatever. But
some of his jokes are...
Yeah, he's put out a couple. I think he's been in like a couple movies. I mean, he did have that arc in The Irishman, and then he also was in
The Irishman.
Just like a henchman guy or something, like an Italian.
Really? I didn't see that.
And then he was in...
I saw The Irishman, but
he was in Ray Romano's movie. There's, I think it's called like Somewhere in Queens, which is a beautiful movie that it's like semi-autobiographical about Ray Romano's relationship with his kid, and it's just like he tried to drive him to be a basketball player, even though the son didn't want to do it. And then, but Sebastian plays like one of the Italian, Goomba kind of brother kind of things, and it's rough because the movie's so like grounded in reality. It's like the first movie that's made me cry in a really long time at the end because it's like a beautiful cry. But like Sebastian is just like cartoonish in it, and
you know who didn't do that? Andrew Dice Clay was in a movie.
He was also in that. He was also in Vinyl, wasn't he? Which I think Ray Romano was also in. That was like that HBO show that was on really quickly. But yeah, he's Andrew Dice Clay is actually a good actor.
Weirdly good.
Yeah,
doesn't overdo it.
Well, if you think about it, he's acting 100% of the time. He got
then
stuck.
They're like, just be yourself.
Yeah, he got stuck in a character bit. His stories are so fun of like people that used to open up for him on the road and like the way he just fucks with people. When he walks around New York City with his selfie face and he's like Christopher
content.
And they're like, what? Get away from me. Like,
or and they're like, oh, these people want an autograph. Yeah, I'll give it to you. And it's like 3 Chinese people being like, it's really
it's
good.
very fun. Okay. Snack motivated.
What do you got? Gummy candy?
Skittles?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
How did you have that?
I figured you said snack motivated, so I figured we'll do that. Wow. You don't have to eat them now, but I mean, you can if you want. Welcome, you're welcome to. But I'm just, what's the worst?
Do you just have candy on you?
No, you said you were snack motivated, so I was like, this is good,
But where'd you get that?
I bought it.
When?
Before.
You knew I was snack motivated?
No, but now I do. This is great.
But you bought these for yourself? Are you a candy guy?
I'm asking the questions.
Okay,
here, right?
sorry.
Yeah. What's the worst interview you've ever had? Do you remember?
Where'd you get the Skittles?
If specifically at a 7-Eleven.
Were you gonna eat these?
Do you like it? What do you think my motivation for those Skittles are?
I don't. I've never seen a grown man buy a bag of Skittles.
No, I just, there they are. What do you mean? Do you want them? You don't want them?
I just want to know what. I just want to know what happened. Were you like, I want some candy today?
I'm not against candy. I'm not really a candy guy. I prefer more of a
why do you own this?
Because you said you were snack motivated.
No, you didn't you didn't know it was snack motivated before we were already here.
Well, isn't that lucky for me then?
No, you tell me. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna start knocking shit over. Why do you have these?
You said you were snack motivated.
That's
so
true.
I was like, so then there you go. There's
Earlier
Skittles.
today when you walked in there, why'd you get these?
I wanted to get them just in case. Just in case I need them, just in case I want to have them, just in case I guess it's snack motivated, whatever I need. Okay. It's good to have candy. You don't have gum, you don't have stuff on you sometimes?
I got gum in my pocket
there you go.
right now.
There you go.
Okay.
Look at that. So if I go, boy, I love gum, and you pull out a piece of gum, I go, why the hell do you have that gum? Where's the gum coming from? So there we go.
Worst interview?
Yeah. Do you remember like a job interview, worst interview you've ever been on?
Okay. Worst job interview. I don't really job. I've always just done construction my life. But worst interview. That's a great question. I mean, radio interviews aren't great. Like the worst interviews, it's a lot of interviews where it's like, your moms are gay, you do carpentry, you're gay. Like sometimes I get a lot of rage when people are like, you have a motorcycle, you do carpentry, you're gay. And then I get like activated and then they're like, nah, you're gay.
Right.
And that's the worst interview. It's usually radio. It's usually
just cross out those questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
But
it's usually 9 a.m. Club. Going to radio,
right?
Being interrogated about my sexuality.
The morning radio, because here's the thing is that's profound about it is that it doesn't move a single ticket.
No.
And so, like, you have to be up early. I did one that was at 6 a.m., and it was a 45-minute ride from the hotel.
And you're just
like, so I'm up at 5-something, and I'm driving to just like an office park, and I'm waiting in my car, and they're like, they're still on, and of course it's running like behind, so they're like, your next commercial break, you come in there, and they're like, who is this guy? Like, they don't even know why I'm there, and then I don't know why. I'm like, what person, if anyone is listening to me at 6 in the morning, there's no shot they're coming to see me
at 9 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, and it fucks up your whole day, and you drink coffee so that you can do the radio, and then you can't nap because you drank the coffee.
Exactly.
And you resent it, and then usually the slot's only like 10 minutes, and you're like, why did I even do that?
It's not enough time. Yeah, and you can't curse, and you're just like, and then you try to come in with something, and then they immediately hijack it, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're talking about Princess Diana and all the
Yes.
times that she farted, and you're like, I don't. This is like a topic from 40 years. You know,
Yeah.
it's always an old topic.
And you always have OCD. Like your manager will be like, "Do you want to do this?" And you're like, "I don't." But if I say I don't, am I a diva? Am I big timey? I'm not big timey. I'm gonna do it. And then
I
you do
also
it.
and I also feel like a thing of like, if I do it and the turnout isn't well, then they can't blame me for something. You know what I mean? If for some reason the turnout's not great, then I can go, well, listen, I did everything you wanted me, because otherwise they can be like, it's because you didn't do that morning zoo show or whatever the hell in Schenectady. Yeah, that's brutal. I there were so many job interviews that I went on for jobs that I was not. I had a comedian when I started comedy. There was a comedian who he's way out of comedy now, but he sold like photocopiers, like those they're like $50,000 giant, office ones, and you only could sell like 4 of those a year, but you make a lot of commission on it or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, it's the best. You got to get in this job." So he brought me to try and bring me into this, and it was like this Wolf of Wall Street, like just like sharks, like everybody.
Really?
And I came in wearing like khakis and like a loose polo, like an extra large polo.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Why do you want this?" I'm like, "I really don't." Like, I just was like, I thought this would be like just kind of a means to an end, because I used to work, bartending and serving jobs, but then you have to take off nights and weekends to do free spots in the Village. So I was like, let me work 9 to 5, maybe that'll be and they just like, I just remember the line of questioning. The guy was so shocked that I wasn't like hungry for the job. He goes, "There's going to be like a lot of prospecting. You're going to be like hitting the streets. You're going to be like cold calling." And he just saw it on my face. I'm like, this is like awful, And the one thing I did do, which apparently was a faux pas, was like I showed up too early. I think I was like, the trains got worked, but I was there like a half hour early. And the comedian at the open micer was like, "Yeah, my boss was saying that was like a real desperate look, like being there that early, and like it just showed it like feels like you wanted it too much." I was like, "I didn't want it at all." I still don't want it, Yeah. And now he still works at that job.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
Selling
sure.
copy machines?
Yeah, for sure. I only see him. Where I see him? I see him at the Gotham Christmas party once a year.
Brutal.
Yeah, and he'll come up. And
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's tough.
Do you think they like make money? Do they do coke? Are they happy?
I think he's got a family, so he's probably okay. He was one of those guys that, like, even if he would kill, he'd get off stage and be like, "I don't know what the fuck I was doing. That was fucking terrible." And so.
How much money can you make selling that? How much are those things? $500?
No. Like, I'm talking like those industrial, like the whole office ones, the ones that they're like $50,000.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they are. But here's the problem. If you could only sell one of those to a company every like 15 years.
Yeah.
And then, so you have to find like a new business that's just starting up, essentially, and then hope that they don't have one and don't have a relationship. And then there's like, it's a whole, who cares? But it's, regardless, it's
That
not.
reminds me of, I used to call alumni at college.
Yeah.
And do calls for that and try and get them to donate money. And then what you would do is every time they allowed you to send a letter to them, like being like, maybe I'll give money, you would ring the bell and you'd get like snacks. And
snack motivated origin story.
So snack motivated. And you would get like M&Ms or something really good. And then, so what I'd do is I'd call them and I'd be like, "Hey, I get M&Ms. If you just say yes to this, just throw it in your fireplace." And they'd be like, "Yes." And I'd bang, bang, bang. It was awesome. I was like the top
I like how
ranked.
you didn't act like a raccoon carrying kibble. Like,
Oh my God. Dude, if Instagram has taught me anything, it is I could not be closer in genetic DNA lineup to a raccoon. It's crazy.
They're very cute. My mom has like a family of raccoon that she like looks after in Florida. It started with like what she calls mama, and then there's like a whole bunch of babies, and she buys like full things of like dog food, and then she'll throw it on their lawn, and like the big mama pops up, but then like the little tiny babies all pop their head up, and
They're so cute.
They like eat out of her hand. She's been feeding them for years. They're totally dependent on her. If she moves, she literally is like, "I can't even move because like they'll all die," because she's basically deferraled them or whatever. She's just destroyed their ability, and she's like, "I know I shouldn't have done that, but they're just so cute." She's like,
I totally
every
get
once
it.
in a while she's like, "It scratched me, it bit me, but that one's bitey or whatever." It's
They
like, oh my
come
God.
up to you?
Oh, they eat out of her hand.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
she pets them. They're like, oh yeah, and she's
living my dream.
She's obsessed.
I just
with
resonate with them because you're in New York. I'm walking through the park. It's like late. And then I turn and there's these two eyes and they're like standing on their reaching in the garbage can like this, and they're caught and they're like, and I'm like, I am that feeling of just like nothing. Crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Ian, I just went to Ian's house yesterday. He's not home. And he just like thought that he could hide gummy bears like deep into a thing, cabinet. And I was just
hide gummy bears specifically from you?
I knew that Gail, his mom, had just been there. So I knew that she brings candy. So I knew that there was candy. And I didn't see it in immediate. So I was like, okay, homie's trying to hide this shit. Immediately find it, eat the entire bag.
You
leave.
went like rummaging.
Yes.
You raccoon rummaged for the candy and you found it?
I found it.
And did you tell him that you ate it, or was it like a secret?
No, he doesn't know. He'll find out from this.
That's so funny.
I think it's hilarious that he thought he could hide it.
Yeah.
So cute.
That's so funny.
He put it like in a thing. I'm like, homie, you gotta go deeper than that. You gotta put that in a sex toy drawer. That's so funny that he thought he could do that.
It's because his house, like I'm picturing his apartment, there's 2 floors. Like there's a lot of square footage to cover.
I knew.
And he's got crap
Gail was
everywhere.
there.
It's almost like it's like bordering on hoarding, like the amount of stuff that's around there. So for you to find that in that is a true.
Dude, every green room, I'll find the 1850s mints that they have in the back of the back closet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you like chocolate too?
All of it.
That's great.
That's why I quit drinking. I'm not an alcoholic.
Right.
I just had to choose.
When did you stop
between
drinking?
Candy or alcohol.
And you
3
chose
years ago. Yeah. I did, dude. I couldn't. The sugar content of what my life was.
Sugar's great.
Sugar's great.
I've eaten ice cream. People don't believe me when
You're such an ice cream
I'm not
boy.
kidding. I have eaten ice cream every single day. With the exception of like 3 or 4 since my kid's been born. It's been like 2.5 years. I don't know what it's like.
I've seen you at the cellar.
I'll eat ice.
cream
I'll find ice cream.
Yeah.
I always have ice cream. I have like ice cream at my house, and then I have backup ice cream in the downstairs fridge.
Wow.
Just in case we run out of ice cream. Yeah. And people really shame me for that, but I'm like, I'm not eating like a full tub of it, but I like a cold treat, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, it's great. Sugar's great.
It's great. What else you got?
100 grand?
What's going on?
100 grand?
Yeah, I prefer this.
I prefer this.
What is going on?
Listen.
This is the best day of my life.
Your career is doing great, right?
Sure.
Everyone can see that. But we all know this ride ain't lasting forever.
Yeah.
Right?
I got a plan.
It's like, you got a plan. Okay. Because I was going to say, you're doing theaters now, but I feel like...
doing theaters.
Aren't you? You just did the Wilbur. That's theater.
1.
And Gramercy. Okay. And I'm sure more that I just can't think of the name of, but yeah. You're doing theater. You're jumping up to theaters now. All of this to say, we know that ride's going to end at some point, but like, I feel like if you join this, the sky's the limit. We're talking arenas. You know? Which I feel like is that's where we all want to be, I guess. You know, the 100 grand. Is that too much? Is there nougat in that caramel in that? The caramel. Do you get the mic? You gotta use the. Oh, because you don't want to eat in front of it. That's great. I'm losing you as a guest on the show.
The camera's just gonna pan back to me, and I'll be wearing a little raccoon mask.
That's the thumbnail. But I do think, on a positive side, I do think we're compatible. Because for a couple of reasons, you used to be goth. Right? I used to be like screamo, post-hardcore, like metal boy. But I also had like a deeply embarrassing like Eminem phase.
Me too.
And I remember like the day I snapped out of that. What made you stop being goth? Do you remember?
It was, I mean, in my hour, I say that it was like a black kid walked by me and went and chuckled at me, and I was like, take it off, get it off, it's over. Just one cool black kid.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was black culture. It was like Eminem and then 50 Cent and getting into rap stuff and being like, I don't want to be lame.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then I started wearing Nikes and less Etnies, less Converse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
do you ever have like the jelly bands?
of course, the sex bracelets.
Yeah.
And the
plugs,
spiky
gauges.
Remember the spiky jewelry?
The spike. Oh, like you like studs? Like I mean,
no.
Like
the gooey.
No, I don't know the.
I'm
gooey.
about to blow your mind.
Okay.
Imagine green and black drops of goo, all stuck together.
Albanese, Mike could probably pull this up on that thing, I think. But what does he look up?
Look up Claire's punk spiky
goo
jewelry.
If anything comes up on that screen,
people are listening to this. It's going to come up. If anything comes up. No way. He's not even listening. He's not even in the room.
I see.
I'll show.
If there's like
punk spiky goo Claire's
Oh,
jewelry.
this? No, this is like candy jewelry here.
You didn't type in punk.
You didn't type.
You typed
he
in
typed
pink.
in spunky. He typed in. Okay, pink.
Yes.
Okay, which one?
Top. First. That's it.
That?
Do you remember that?
No. What are those earrings?
God, I had so many of those. Yes.
Rubber earrings.
Yes, I had
Whoa.
so many. We'd go to Claire's and we'd shoplift everything, and then we'd go home and shake it out. Hoodies that had patches.
Did anyone buy anything from Claire's or from Hot Topic? Because that was everyone that I know that ever shopped there. Everyone stole.
Yeah.
We stole everything.
Spencer's gifts.
Spencer's.
Oh my God.
What are you kidding? I bought a seatbelt belt. It was like it
cool.
said like Ford, and it was like checkered, and it was
Yeah.
like an actual seatbelt. It was very
That's
cool.
cool.
It was.
I would
very
wear that
cool.
now,
Yeah,
to be honest.
the black and white checkered was a little. It didn't age well, but the actual seatbelt buckle belt.
I had
was,
Batman belt buckle on Big Stud that
sure.
had pinstripes on the leather.
Of course, yeah,
Real
yeah.
rough.
Well, it's funny. Like so that's what black culture got you out of goth, but black culture, ignorance is what got me out of my rap phase, because I had this. I remember this so clear. I went to a school that went from 7th grade to 12th grade.
Same.
For a little. So it's like
6 to 12.
yeah, that's too much of a grade. Because
Yeah.
like if you're a sixth or 7th grader and you see a senior in high school, they're 45
gone.
years old.
Yeah.
They're full adults. And it was the first day at this new school. I'll never forget. I had a FUBU jacket.
Wow.
It was a red outside, fleece-lined inside, reversible,
Yeah.
oversized FUBU jacket. It was the most comfortable thing. I loved this. My jacket was my entire identity. And then I was walking into the auditorium for like orientation, and 2 black guys that were seniors stopped me, and they're like, yo, you know what that jacket stands for? And I was just like, it's comfy. It's like pretty sick, you know? And they were like, for us. By us, and they like hit their chest like that.
Oh,
that was
shit.
the last day I ever wore. It was my favorite jacket. Never wore it again. Couldn't wear it ever again. I was like, all right, well, I had a
For
good
us,
run.
by us.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what FUBU means.
I had it where I had a patch on my hoodie that said "Punk's not dead." Mm-hmm. And the really cool goth kid that I had a huge crush on saw it and was like, "Who said it is?" And I didn't know what to say, and I was like, and I remember like crying later about it, and that was.
There's nothing worse than when someone like you think you have like a cool thing, and then someone even with one question, and you're like, I didn't think there would be a follow up.
It's awful. It's so fun. I was carving my name into like a wet sidewalk the other day, or not the
Yeah.
other day, during the pandemic.
Like
Jesus
the
Christ.
other day.
And during the pandemic, and I was on mushrooms, and then this black girl roller skated up to me, and she was like, "That's such white privilege. Like you're not from here." And I was like high as fuck, and I was like, and I literally, this is what I said to her. This is so crazy. I went, "Do you want to write your name too?"
That you extended an olive branch.
Yeah.
You know, although it was probably like a stick, but
Yeah.
that's so funny. And did she? She did not.
No, she did not.
Yeah, of course. That's the way.
She stood there while I scratched my name.
You didn't keep your name. You panicked. You tried to
I
smooth it over.
mushrooms panic. Any
yeah.
other day, I'm gonna
The
be like,
worst.
"Fuck off, you piece of,"
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? I'll get into a full fight. But I was like, "Okay," and ran away.
I had a white privilege. Oh, like a woman have a white privilege moment with me where I was walking out of like a store or something in Brooklyn. And I was walking towards my car, and this is the only way that I saw this. This girl on a bike, she's not a girl, she was a woman, she was like an adult, you know, and she like just took a turn really wide and just like slammed into my parked car.
Whoa.
And like the steering wheel like scratched the whole car, like the whole door, like and dented it. And then she like got up and like fixed herself, and then saw the damage, and I saw her face drop. And then she got on her bike and started pedaling away, and I had to literally chase her down and be like, "What are you doing?" And then she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then we had to like exchange information, and then it got so weird because she's like kind of in the like comedy universe, and
Oh,
she's
God.
like, "I know," like she's like, "I do improv, like I know you," and all this other stuff, and I'm like, "Cool, you gotta send me about $900 for the damages, though," you know, like, and she's I'll tell you afterwards who she is, but she's like the creator of like a very popular feminist
Oh God.
website thing. Yeah. So maybe I was like that. There's the patriarchy in action again. But she was actually very sweet about it. But
And
it was
she
the thing that she did pay. But it was one of those things
Nice.
where it was so uncomfortable because she's like, "Oh, we have so many mutual friends." I'm like,
That's brutal.
It's a weird first meeting, but also like you tried to do like it's like a hit and run. So I was like, no, it's kind of.
What do you think about this?
Uh huh.
Comic, I just got a text from a girl being like, "Hey, can I book you on my show? I got your number from one of our friends."
I would reach out to the friend and be like, "What's this about?"
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm furious about it.
Yeah. I would assume I would only give. I think you got to ask the person first. Go,
You gotta
can I give
ask
this
the person.
You got to give them.
You don't know the amount of people ask me for Ethan SP's number. Nobody can contact him, and I'm
Yeah.
like, sorry, dude, you got to Facebook message him.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't like that at all.
I can't wait to fucking pile drive him.
That's fun.
I'm really excited.
That's fun. Yeah, especially if it ends up being like a bad show too.
It's gonna be a bad show.
Yeah, then that's unacceptable.
And this person scares the shit out of me.
A phone number is so it feels so invasive if
Yeah.
someone's got your phone number because you can't not write back forever, you know?
Yes.
Even though you've done
I
a very
do.
good thing. You've made it a part of your personality to be bad at writing back to texts. And
Dude.
it's
Look at this.
how many unread do you have?
Unread, I have 1,184.
That drives me absolutely
Look at
crazy.
this. Look at the blue dots.
That would give me so much anxiety. Everything has to be cleared out. I need no unread emails, because then it's like, I used to do that with my emails. I'd be like, oh, I have 800 unread emails, but then I wouldn't know when I have a new email. I'd be like, oh, I have 805. So now it's like, why am I doing that? Man, just read. Everything's read, you know? But
You know what it is? Is that this becomes a guy, like a separate guy. So like if I see you, I'm like, oh yeah, Feeney. But if you text this thing, now phone is talking, and phone, I'm like,
get away.
I don't even know you.
But how do you know when something's important? What if someone's trying to, is it time sensitive?
It's just my mom top.
Wow. Oh, you have like the faves things?
I have the faves. It's just, I mean, even my best friend. Oh, and mom texted me. But it's just, my whole thing is like, if the niece and the mother and the sister are okay, or if the mothers are, you know what I mean, the
Sure.
family unit
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody else can.
Everyone else can wait.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. You're family oriented. You know what? Toblerone?
Oh my God! What's going on?
Who keeps call? I keep getting a phone number from healthcare, and that sounds ominous. They've called me like 7 or 8 times in a row. I'm
Really?
probably
Answer it,
dying, and
answer it.
I can't because it's like then I have to tell them they're on a podcast. It's a whole thing, and they're probably like, it's positive or whatever. So we'll just figure that out.
Have you
No, I'm okay.
have you been to the doctor recently?
Yeah, you know what? It's probably my vet because I took my dog to the vet a couple days ago. It's probably his blood work, which might also be bad. So now that's something I'm gonna think about as well. If they keep calling me, all right.
How many times?
I mean, I've been feeling it vibrate in my thing for.
Just pick it up. You gotta pick it up.
How many times? I mean, they must have called. They called me 7 times. They called me. 7
You gotta pick
times.
up, even if you edit this out. You gotta
Can
call
I
them.
pick this up?
Yes. How many? 7 times.
7 times consecutive. Just now, like in the last, in 209, 210, 211, 212, 213, 213, 213, 214. That's crazy.
That is really
That's
weird.
insane. That means
Now
my dog's in big trouble.
No,
I'm
now I think the dog is fine, and he just was like, something's not going
gotta talk
through.
yeah, maybe he's an idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now I feel
Let's get
better.
back into the
now that I
show.
know that it's sick brained.
Let's get back into the show. I was talking about the things we have in common. Something else, I really love watching comedy with you because you and I have a lot of similar opinions on what we like, but much more importantly, what we don't like and what we resent an audience for even laughing at. Like I've seen you and I, like someone will tell a joke that we think is like awful, and then the crowd laughs, and we have like a visceral angry reaction to that, and that is so fun to me. What group of people?
What race?
What group of people do you think are the dumbest audience members?
Florida.
Florida.
I hate Florida audiences. I don't like, I would say the South, but I love Texas audiences, and there's a lot of. But
Houston's very fun.
Dallas,
Austin's fun.
Addison, but it would be, but like at the Cellar, which is easier to hone in on, it would be like, obviously the tourists because they don't speak English. I'm gonna go ahead and say this: Australians can be pretty fucking whack.
Australians and
They
Floridians.
can be oddly like 3 years behind in wokeness.
Right.
You know, where they're like, oh, she said retard, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, that's fully back.
Yeah, it's back,
fully
and
back.
and we fought hard to get it back.
Yeah.
And it's not going
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like all audiences, but that's good to know. You should just don't go to
You
Florida.
don't like
go
audiences.
don't go to Australia.
Wait, what is your least favorite? Do you have one?
I think like I don't know.
Young too.
That's what I was gonna say. Younger is the worst to me. Like 21, like 18 to 21 or whatever. It's like, or even the really like under 23 because they have no life experience
Well,
yet.
and they're so scared that they don't laugh. They're just
yes,
like,
they're constantly looking around. The older people get, the more old people are actually more fun because
Dude,
they're
you
like,
want to hear low key my favorite audience members?
tell me.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
You're not even gonna believe me. Hasidic or Orthodox Jews.
That is shocking.
I know. Dude, they love to be made fun of and they laugh so hard. And they're so like, they're like shy, but they're laughing. So you really can like poke.
And they know that like they see you as like this like person that's already going to hell, so they don't mind laughing and judging it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's their big night out always.
Yes.
Like it's like their time out with friends and they're off their cell phones because they don't use them. They're the best audiences.
I always said if I could fill a theater with middle-aged black women, that would be my best because I'm like a novelty and they're always like you stupid. Like it's like a very like I'm like a cute dumb thing.
Yeah.
Do you think you've ever seen the same wild animal more than once?
Yes.
Really? Just in confidence, or you're just off the numbers of it?
In the backyard, family of skunks. Saw them a few times.
Oh, okay.
I took Molly during the day. You ever done that? Went to the river, had a great time, came back. Mom says there's baby skunks on the porch. Spent 4 hours just bowling little strawberries and watching them eat it and freaking out on Molly.
Whoa.
Being like, Mom, they're chewing. Look at their faces.
Skunks, I would always be afraid to get sprayed. I had a friend
They were
get
babies.
sprayed.
They don't have sprayers.
Oh, when did they get the spray? I
don't know, but when they're babies, that's why it was so fun on
that's
Molly
cute.
because you could just be like, here, they were harmless and they're so cute.
Oh, I don't think I've even seen a baby skunk.
Oh my God.
Who's got that joke? Someone's got a joke I saw recently. I don't know who it was, but they were just like, you've never seen a baby pigeon? They're just like always like fully grown
That's
or
hilarious.
dead. Yeah, it's very funny. I wish I could remember who it was. But
There's never been
if that's your bit, it's a good bit.
That's a good bit. That's
Keep doing
really
it.
funny.
Yeah.
I've never
I
seen a
might
baby
just start
pigeon.
doing it. No. Do you have any? We were talking about Australia and Florida stuff. Do you have any desire to visit Africa? And I mean the real Africa, not like the white people with funny accents part. Zero. No, like
Not even like a
safari.
Nothing. Don't want to go on safari. Think it's not good for the animals.
Yep.
Don't want to go on safari. Think that you could get killed by the animals.
Yep.
Don't like superheat. Don't like sand.
Don't like malaria.
Don't like malaria. Don't like
Smallpox.
white people visiting black people. Don't like that.
Yeah, it feels very. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, but I was worried that not wanting to go there is like one of those problematic things. You know
That's
what I mean?
nice that you know that. No, I literally want to go to places where, I mean, Sam
people
J
are the
was
dominant race.
Sam J was doing a great bit about how the UK is all just like white people at their finest.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? I want to go places where I'm not using my tourist ass.
Right. You can blend in a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm also not like one of those people that's like, I love to try. I like going to Italy because I'm Italian.
Right.
And it feels like going home to.
But what about like Dominican Republic, something like that?
I was there. I hated it.
Wow.
I hate sand, hate the beach.
A lot of kids in Dominican Republic at streetlights. They're so poor. They tried to sell you like maps, like at the street, and you're like, how many maps could a person need? And also, it's all on our phone now. Like you got to like come up with the time. Like maps are the least purchasable thing.
I know they got to get on our game on candy on the trains.
Yes, candy. Oh my gosh.
While holstering a small Mexican baby.
And rope.
I mean, really, what I want is to open the Toblerone, but I don't feel.
You can open the Toblerone.
I can't.
Good Toblerone.
Why do you? What?
This
is awesome.
You wake up tomorrow.
This is the best day of my life.
You wake up tomorrow with a completely different voice, like a celebrity's voice. Whose voice would you want it to be?
Oh. Who's the woman? The woman from Russian Doll.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Russian Doll. Mike, can you pull up
the redhead?
The redhead? I don't even know. Natasha.
Yeah.
Natasha, the one from American Pie.
Yes.
Who had like the drug problem, and she's very likable.
Yes.
I like her a lot. She was in something else too. Natasha Lyonne.
That's the voice.
She's great. She's very fun. I like her. That's not terribly different from your voice.
I know.
It's a little gravelier and deeper.
I want my voice to be gravelier. When I lose my voice, it's the best.
Okay. I went the opposite way. I'd want like Cillian Murphy. I feel like that's just like a
cool,
soft-spoken, smooth, frail
That's because you have
Irishman.
quite a shrill voice.
I have a shrill voice. That's how you describe it.
Yeah, you and Nathan McIntosh when you're yelling on stage.
Yeah, shrill.
Yeah, that's why it works.
But his is another. I think him and I are in a different. He's in a different level of shrill.
Well, he can scream. He does the scream.
Yeah, but he's like he's almost not. He's just pitching at that point. Like it's almost like not words. It's like when Mariah Carey and like they hit that high note. You're like that's just noise.
This is really good.
It's good. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I'll break off a piece of that. But yeah, I think just an Irish accent in general. But
Oh yeah, what accent? You know what mine would be?
What?
Boston. I was just in Boston. I cannot tell you how much I love that accent.
That's the least sexy accent of all time.
Do you want to hear what I think is so funny? Boston guy. I keep trying to make this work on stage, but Boston guy in therapy. I'm just trying to find any excuse to do a Boston accent of a guy going, "He touched my private parts."
That's fun. Yeah, that's good. How about this? If you had to describe your personality as a popular movie, what would it be and why?
A popular movie.
Yeah.
Not.
I mean, it doesn't have to be I mean, just a movie.
Titane.
What's that? Titane.
Titane. It's about an androgynous woman who has sex with a car.
Okay.
And then gives birth to a big metal thing. Titane.
All right.
I really am sexually attracted to vehicles.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna say for you, I was gonna say like Hostel. You've seen Hostel, right? Remember Hostel?
Yeah.
Because it's like very funny. Actually,
Yeah.
parts of that movie, but it's also like super dark, and then there's parts of it where you're like, I can't believe you're like showing me this. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Which I feel like is
Yes.
the things that you'll do on stage where I'm like, I can't. Like that's what makes you great on stage is that I'm like, I can't even believe you would share this with anybody, let alone like everybody. It's very it's very cool. So let's do some psychological stuff here, right?
Okay, I
this
love
is fun. So you got two podcasts, obviously Bein Ian, which I've done multiple times, so fun, and then you have Rest in Peace Jordan Jensen, which I assume I'm on some sort of short list to be asked to do soon. But it's a podcast where you talk in detail about psychology, right? All mental health, all that stuff. Yeah, because if there's one thing comedy fans love, it's serious, in-depth
serious.
mental health discussions. So with that said, it's funny because it's like you're doing so well, and then you started this thing. It's like, have you ever done an episode on self-sabotage?
Because you think RIP is self-sabotage?
Well, because
You think I'm sabotaging?
because
with
you
my-
see if it's like, you're known for funny, and then you're like, let me do it. You see?
I'd love to do an episode on self-sabotage. I think that would be really interesting. And I think that my comedy fans who have blue hair and giant tits would love to hear about that.
Ah.
Okay? I think my little thems would be very curious about that. I'm sure
That's
they have
great.
their own form of self-sabotage.
Listen, we don't need to get defensive. I'm just, that's great. I'm glad. I'm not.
Listen, it's not just psychology. It's also a little philosophy, some religion.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
I don't know.
just a
I
comedian.
haven't been
I'm not
invited
just a-
on, so I wasn't sure what it was. But that's actually it's fine. I'm actually very busy. But that is good to know. And you go to therapy. Do you like your therapist?
It's Alan.
What?
It's Alan.
Oh, you go to Alan?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I didn't know that.
I love Alan.
I got rejected from Alan.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
Why? Too normal? He almost rejected me, but it was the dissociation.
Whoa.
I called and I was like, hey, I've been told by like Sam and Ronan that I should come see you. And I just am like really having a hard, and he called back and he was like, I have no room, but come in immediately.
I'm pretty confident that like he's gonna like write a pretty big tell-all someday with all of these, because I think he's like a social worker, which I don't think has the same HIPAA laws as like a license.
No, he won't tell me shit, dude. I'll ask things that like he totally could tell me.
Interesting.
Like he'll be like, this one comic on late night, I talked him through this, and I was like, who is it? And he's like, I won't.
Right, but I mean, you could also pick like even that feels like that's some context.
No, it
to
helped me so much though.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was like talking about what if I do this? What if I freeze up on stage? What if about the special? What if I barf? What if and he was like, I had a comic who froze up and they freaking deleted that minute. And it helped me
I know.
hear.
That was a famous. That was Sebastian. No, Sebastian doesn't go. But did you hear that Sebastian story?
What?
Sebastian froze on the Tonight Show. He he would. There's a full he tells this in his book is where he was he told like the first 2 jokes, and then he literally completely blanked.
Yeah.
And
maybe it was
just open mouth stared in silence for what he said was like 15 full seconds, and then they cut around it. But if you watch his Tonight Show set, you'll see the cut, and then you'll see him like dripping sweat afterwards. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good for that stuff. It's good for, I talked to him about The Cellar, and he knows about that, and also he understands the narcissism mixed with deep self-hatred.
So can I guess what Alan said when you met? When you met for the first time? Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna be Alan, and then you introduce yourself. So go for it.
Okay.
Hey. Oh wait, knock first. And enter. Yeah. Okay. Isn't that his voice? Doesn't he have a weird voice?
Enter.
Okay.
Step forth.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
Cha-ching! Yes. All right, honey, go buy that new car. We are set. Get it? Because
it's the vet calling. Your dog's sick.
All right. I think.
Yeah, I do pay that man a lot of money.
Of course. Well, it's just it feels like that's one of those things.
Poor thing. He has to deal with the same shit every week, though. You know what I mean?
But that's everybody. That's every therapist.
Really?
Everywhere. I feel like they trapped.
Do you have a therapist?
I went to a therapist for a couple months, and then either I didn't open up enough, or they were just like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I feel like I am supposed to be." Every comedian I've ever met was in therapy, so I was like, "I'll go to therapy for a while." And she's like, "You can keep coming, but like I don't know what. Like you just seem like you're like." There was like certain. She just was like, you basically just have like basic human frustrations and like things that are like that. I don't see what we're supposed to like. She basically was like, go think about if you want to like share more, or like she was like basically being like, if you're gonna keep coming here and I'm gonna keep taking your money, I want you to like.
That's a good lady.
Yeah. I think I won. I guess I won therapy.
If you don't have beef with your wife.
No, that's actually the best. That's like the personal life is the best part of my life.
Right. So that's like Alan said that the most times people come in to therapy is because they're going through relationship issues, which is why I came in.
Right.
It's like a breakup fucks them up or something like that. So if you're good with your wife,
it's great. Yeah. And this was before I had the kid. Now it's even better.
Better?
Oh yeah, way better. The kid, it's like it's the best thing you'll ever do in your life.
Is that true? It's like
truly it is. It is the closest I can possibly describe it, but it is like Molly. Like a kid is Molly. It's like that thing. Like this morning, I understand.
This is all
I fully understand.
Just
that,
this is what RIP is.
Is? Oh,
yes.
Okay, great. Well,
this shit that you can't say on comedy podcasts. You can't be like, I love my kid.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude.
This morning. And I understand that this is going to probably sound like a nightmare to you, but this was amazing for me. I'm sleeping. My wife's about to take my kid to daycare because she takes him on Wednesdays. And before he comes to say goodbye to me, he like kicks open the door and is like, "Wake up, daddy!" And I had a full heart. I was in deep REM sleep, so I had like a full heart attack. He jumps on the bed. He gives me like the wettest ear kiss of my life, and then gives me a hug and is like, "Bye, daddy," and then like walked out. And I was like, "That's the best."
Oh,
it's just
God.
like it's such a drug. Everything after like from 6 months till now, he's 2.5, has been like the best of my life. Like it's Molly every day, because every day they do something and they're so cute and like you're watching them develop. It's very fun. First 5 months, worst of your life though. I will warn you that. That's bad.
What I'm hearing.
Yeah, but knowing that going in feels great, because then it feels extra good because you survived that. It's like the war part. It's like doing open mics to then get past at like the Cellar or whatever, where you're like you went through that war and now you're on the other side and you're like, oh, this is great, but it's much, and also gets rid of all the bullshit of comedy. You're like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? It's like none of that, and none of it matters. It's a real.
I just like the idea of like by the time he's 18, you'll be.
By the time he's 2, so I'm 37, so I'll be 50.
Yeah, so 50-year-old, you're like more tired, right, but whatever. Yeah. When you're older, you're more tired, but then you get to just like talk to an 18-year-old, and it's like keeps you busy
I was just talking to my wife about this when we were in college. My wife and I were like big. We loved to drink, and we considered ourselves really like talented drinkers.
Yeah.
And me and her friend and her went to the St. Patrick's Day parade with my dad, who lived in the city. And my dad's like an Irish guy, and it was in his 50s at the time. And we were like, he's like, let's go out to some bars. And we're like, all right, old man, good luck keeping up, you know? And then the first place we get to, he got around for us. He gave us the pints. We're like talking, we're drinking. And then he like finished his before ours. And he's like, I'm going to go get more. And we're like, all right. And I'm like, I got to chug the rest of it. And he comes back with another one. And then it became like Lucy and the Chocolate Factory, where like, I was like two behind him, and he's just he kind of was like, you guys think you can fucking drink? Like, watch this. And
That's
then
awesome.
we got so like blacked out. Like my wife's girlfriend just was like fully like passed out. She was just
Oh my
alcohol.
God, that's
like,
awesome.
I just have like I browned out. Like I have like memories of being at like a Jackson Hole eating like a 2-pound burger with my dad and we were just talking about that was our best St. Patty's Day ever, and he just drank us under the table.
That's
it was
awesome.
It was that thing of like being in college and thinking you're whatever. Do you think dreams are trying to tell us something, or are they just like noise?
Okay, well, that's what I was working on a bit about this, but I'm not going to, it's stupid. But it was like, my friends will have dreams that are like, oh yeah, I had a dream that my like teeth were falling out.
Yeah, that's
and
a popular
they're like,
one.
oh, it's financial instability or blah, blah. And mine are like, literally mine will be like, I call my best friend and she's like, I don't want to be friends anymore. And I'll be like, why? And she's like, because you got uglier. And then I wake up. It'll be like that. Or it'll be like, I'm dating a dude and I'll call his phone in the dream and it's blocked.
Because you got uglier.
Because you got uglier.
It's so mean.
It's so mean, dude. It's so mean. And it's all the time. All my dreams are like that. Or me just like running into you and being like, what's up? And you being like, I don't think you're a good person. And me being like, okay. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, let's analyze this.
Yeah.
Don't have to go far.
I used to have dreams about like, I used to have nightmares of like just me like trying to run away from something, but like that knee-deep mud kind of run where I'm like looking down at my feet and my legs aren't running this way. I'm doing like high knees, so I'm not gaining any ground kind of a thing, which I'm sure was some sort of career related kind of a thing.
So awful.
And then I've also had a dream multiple times where I've been like killed. Like, you know how they say you can't die in a dream or whatever,
Yeah.
but I've had a dream I've been at like some like public setting. There was like a mass shooting or something, and I get clipped, in my shoulder or something, and I fall down and I play dead, and then they like walk up and like finish me. Like,
Oh my
I hear like the gunshot, and then I just kind of like
That's crazy.
wake up in like a real sweat. Yeah.
I
haven't had that
falling
in a
dreams,
while,
but
I've had-
full getting shot in the head?
yeah, it was like that. Like, let me play dead and see, and they're just like they're gonna make sure everyone's like real dead, kind of a thing.
Oh my, too many
Yeah.
video games.
Probably, I do play a lot of Call of Duty and
Yeah.
high, so that could be it for sure.
No, I just have mean dreams. I have dreams that are so realistic. I'll wake up and call somebody and be like, hey, you want to hang out? And they're like, nope, I don't like you anymore. And then I'm just like, great.
Well, regardless of how this goes, I like you, Jordan.
Really.
Reese's Pieces.
You're the best.
I'm gonna do a little thing called Fix This. What's something in society you want to fix, and how would you fix it? A little brain teaser.
Well, I was going to do this as my Subway take.
Okay,
Can I do it for both?
sure.
I think on airplanes. Wait, this isn't society though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that's societal.
I
guess.
think free tampons.
Okay.
Tampons, all tampons free. And I think if you get EBT food stamps, you also get a vasectomy.
Oh, so stop the generation of.
Would you like
the
to sign
cycle.
up for EBT food stamps? Yes. Would you also like a vasectomy? Sure.
That's so you stop the cycle of poor.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. What about if it's a woman? Tubes tied?
Tubes tie the tubes.
Can you untie tubes?
You can untie the tubes.
You can?
I don't know.
I don't think you can. I know you can unvasect the vasectomy, but
IUD. You want an IUD?
Yeah.
Come back in 10 years.
my wife said that was way more painful than childbirth. Was getting the IUD put in her after giving birth. She was like that was like the worst. thing.
Wow.
She said she was like almost like passed out from pain.
Mine was very easy.
Well.
She must have gotten the copper. She got the copper.
I don't know.
Did she still bleed?
I don't know. Oh, like I have a period kind of
Yeah.
thing? No.
It's gone?
Gone. Poof.
Oh, interesting. They did a bad job. For me, it was in and out. Oh, maybe
Interesting.
I got a big service.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that EBT food stamps, you can get a vasectomy. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say this. This is gonna fuck people up. All cars in New York, way higher tariff, way higher tax.
Whoa. Now this is going to be a big problem for us because
Yeah.
I feel the exact opposite way.
Eliminate them.
Eliminate cars?
Cars.
What are you, crazy?
Yeah, get them out of here.
No, we need the cars.
No,
You
it's
say
too-
that until the subway breaks down and then it's pouring rain and we get
No,
down at
Ubers are fine. Ubers, taxis,
But
personal
if it's
cars.
only Ubers, then we're all going to get it's
No.
kind of a monopoly.
It'll
We're
be
going to get
cheaper.
gouged.
It'll
It's
be
no, they
cheaper.
won't. It'll be airport pricing. It's our only option. So it's going to be $150 to go from, Gotham to the cellar. Because we're the only cars in town. What are you going to do? Walk in the rain?
Like-
Walk in the snow? Bike? You're going to bike
No,
in the
because
snow?
then I'll be incentivized to open up my own Uber company that's cheap.
Okay, so now you're facing a monopoly. You're trying to open a fast food place when there's a McDonald's right next door.
Yeah.
This is what
Cheaper.
all of that, then just what about your
No
motorcycle?
cars. No
You have
cars
your
in New York.
motorcycle.
Motorcycles are fine.
This is crazy.
You got to choose. We
This is
can't have
bad.
both bodega guys and cars.
It was going so
Okay,
well.
fine. How about this?
Mm.
I would like to amend this.
Okay.
No more. Oh, this is my. Okay, delete everything I've ever said.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
No food delivery. Period.
I'm interested.
No more Uber delivery. You walk to the fucking deli and you make yourself a tuna sandwich.
I
if
do
you need
like
to
that.
eat, okay.
Yes.
No more bodega mopeds. No more guys with gloves attached to it.
Yeah, I hate that.
No more.
Get them out of there.
They're too dangerous when I'm on my motorcycle or my bicycle or the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or walking. They're like
And-
jumping sidewalks. It's nuts.
With a food with a country with an obesity epidemic, we don't need it delivered to our house. Okay.
Yeah.
I can deliver food to come up 4 flight of stairs and come into my home. That's not good.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
It's a depression
You're back.
accelerant.
You know what? You're back. All right. It's interesting. Okay, so that's what you choose to fix. You're gonna fix no delivery
Decide
guys.
which one I want.
I like that. I was gonna fix racism, but I like your answer. That's pretty important too.
No. Racism impossible to fix.
What do you mean?
It's not possible.
Well, with that attitude, it is.
Yeah, fix it.
Okay. We're coming to a close here, but I did
Yeah,
want to.
nobody's gonna let us. They need racism to keep going.
Yeah, but that's what if we have love in our heart? What if every single person has to do Molly for one day? It's like the purge, but Molly, or mushrooms. Probably Molly, because then
You know
it's
what you
really
forget? The
open heart.
next day.
Yeah, but you remember you felt good. You don't remember
Mushrooms,
what-
a little bit of mushrooms in the water. I'm for.
Yeah.
Like fluoride and a little mushrooms.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Let's do that. Okay. We did New York's Funniest Competition together, 2021. You remember this? I think this is where we met, to be honest with you. I feel like we met at that. We were both on that show
The one that
at Caroline's. Do you remember this?
did we lose?
No.
The one that I won?
Yes.
That's
So-
not where we met.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Did we meet before that?
New York's. What do you mean, Sagalo?
4 years ago. Wasn't that around the same time?
Post pandemic?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
About around that, roughly. I wouldn't say we were like friends then. We may have known of each other and said hi and stuff or whatever.
No, you were on the show.
Yeah, so this is what I was going to bring up. I don't know if you remember this. but-
Outdoor shows?
Yes. Yeah, like the stand-up New York ones and all that crap.
Like the
The New York Comedy Club? Yeah.
New York Comedy Club. The
You would categorize us as
Santino
friends
ones?
back then?
No, but we met.
Knew each other,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, yeah, so maybe we didn't meet there. But there, I don't know if you remember this, because it's very clear to me. There was and I still don't even know this person's name, so I'm not even like hiding it. There was a
The tits?
brutally bad. There was a brutally bad comedian
was that?
bombed spectacularly right before me and nuked the entire vibe and momentum, and everything was destroyed. And then I went up and like worked the hardest I've ever worked to get them back, and felt like I had a pretty like representatory set. Like I got off stage, I got like a nice applause break at the end, and I was like, I remember leaving the stage being like, this is the best I could have possibly done given the situation that I was given, like brought them back
was
to where they were.
crazy.
And then you went up right after me and fucking killed. And you ended up winning, obviously. So I guess my question is like, do you
can
ever
have
feel
this.
what? You're not having this?
You can have that because.
Oh, thank
no.
you. Well, I was gonna say, do you ever feel like guilty
I bought you these.
about riding my wave to victory?
I had completely forgotten that was you.
You just know there was someone that brought back the audience.
I remember that show I was really out on. I thought that John Marco was going to win. I was like, there's no way he's not going to win.
Yeah.
But because I remember watching the year before, and I was like, whoever goes last wins. And he's like, he's such a destroyer. He is going to win. So I had phoned it in so much that when they called my name to go up, I was like eating.
Right.
If you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then if you can fathom that. And then I ran onto the stage and went up. So I was like not paying attention to anything. And the tits woman distracted me because I didn't even know she did bad.
Yeah.
It's just the tits.
It was brutal. It was very bad. But I remember being like, I didn't expect to win either. But then once I like got them back, I was like, oh, maybe that'll be a thing. But then when I saw you kill, I was like, oh, Jordan's 100% winning. But I just didn't know if you had ever been like considered like splitting it with me or anything like
never
that.
once.
Okay.
Never once,
I understand. Well, I appreciate the honesty. Jordan. Snickers. I do appreciate everything. Where can people find you and learn about you if it's not at a candy place? And the vet is calling back. Should I give this a resolution?
Yes.
Yeah, you do your plugs.
Punchup.live/Jordan Jensen. Thank you so much.
Hello? That's unbelievable. What an unbelievable ending is that that's not there.
Wow.
But that's punchup.live. Jordan, go see her on the road. The funniest, the best. And as for this, we'll let you know. Thanks. And that doesn't help. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt. Thanks for coming in.
Have less years ahead of me. I have burned more bridges. I am harder to look at.
Okay.
I blink a lot.